Okay, joining us today is Everton Bryan, and we're here to discuss credit. Um, as you know, a lot of people are not too familiar with credit because people don't know the value of credit.
Hmm.
And yes, tell us tell us about yourself and how did you started your journey in
Okay, yeah.
credit.
So I got you. So my name is Everton Bryan. I got started on my journey when it comes to credit repair back in 2018, February 2018, and the reason was very simple. We all, if you're born and raised in the states, you went to school, and two things I could guarantee: you never learn anything about financial literacy.
Nope.
Neither did they teach you about credit 101. So that was a big situation for me. They say birds of a feather flock together. I got bad credit. My mom had bad credit. My brother got bad credit. My friends got bad credit. Everybody got bad credit, right? And it was not taught in public in school and stuff like that. So I always said they said that America was built and founded on what credit, but it's not a course that's actually taught in school. So it makes no sense. So basically, back in 2018, man, I was in a situation where I was overworking, underpaid, living paycheck to paycheck, and I definitely wanted to be able to, supplement my income, make some extra money. But then I was also in a position where my credit score is a 451, can't get approved for anything. So even if I'm short on the bill money, I can't get a loan because you're deemed not trustworthy if your credit score is low, if that makes sense. Right. So basically, I, stumbled across this exact opportunity that I work with. And, a great friend of mine gave me a simple phone call, asked me a quick question: Everton, how's your credit? I told him it was very bad. And from there, he basically went ahead and enrolled me into the program. Within 5 months and a week, one of the biggest highlight I could say was they was able to get a $33,000 medical bill removed from my credit profile. And I was able to get my credit score increased over 269 points, so from a 451 to a 720. So that was major for me. That was like when everything started going off like this, and I was like, you know what, if I keep just sharing this information with a lot of people, maybe we could help a lot of people along the way. So next month make 4 years since I've been with this platform, and that's all we've been doing ever since, just spreading financial literacy and educating people on the importance of credit.
Okay. I have a lot of people that's on my timeline that actually does credit,
Mm.
and I don't know much about what they do because I've always introduced myself to them and be like, "Yo, come on the show and tell us what you do." Like
All right.
one thing I always try to do whenever I see a person that got a business or something like that, I say, "Come here and tell us what you do, so you could tell the rest of people that don't know about what you're doing.
All
You
right.
know what I'm saying? What you're
Spread
doing,
awareness, basically.
right?"
Absolutely.
So,
Hmm.
and especially black businesses. I'm a big follower of black businesses.
All right.
So,
Big advocate.
what do you do as far as like credit? Like, if a person come to you and be like, "Yo, my credit is in shambles. I'm
All right.
trying to fix it." What are the steps then that you take to make sure you get them on the right path to get a higher score with their credit?
Okay, so before I even continue, the first thing I like to deal with people, because the first thing you said when we first started was a lot of people don't know the importance of credit, and they don't really know about credit. So everybody mindset is programmed to say, I need to fix my credit. How much does it cost? When that's the complete wrong mindset to go about credit. It's more so, hey, my credit is jacked up, but can you educate me on the things that I need to know about credit? Because you'll deal with some people. Let's just say, for example, you're from the Caribbean, you're Jamaican, right? And you
Hmm.
came here, you don't know nothing about credit. So in your head, you're like, I don't have any credit. How do I go by building credit so I could buy a house? But there's a lot of different intricate steps. I'm not going to go into all of them, but there's a lot of intricate steps that you got to take um the initiative on. So you want to first identify what that person credit is, because let's just say, for example, Kels, you might be somebody that you don't have any negative items on your credit profile, right? But here's the issue: you don't need credit repair. You see the difference? You don't need credit repair because you don't have anything negative. So what you need is you need to be able to boost your credit score. So now you need to go on along the lines of like adding traditional like trade lines on your credit. You want to be able to be an authorized user. If you have a loved one that have a good credit score, and they have high credit cards, have them add you as an authorized user. So it's different steps that you need to make sure that you're taking, if that makes sense, when it comes to credit. So you got to find out what's going on. So let me just break it down for you like this. There's 5 factors when it comes to building credit, right? Payment history, that makes up 35% of your credit score. One late payment can drop your credit score up to 100 points. So what does that mean? You don't want to rob Peter to pay Paul, because all you're doing is shooting yourself in the foot. You need to find a way to pay your bills, right? So it's a lot of people that reach out to me and they're like, yeah, you know, my payment history is 67%. The question I ask them back is, hey, have you started on a trajectory of paying your bills on time? Because if you haven't, I'm gonna let you know this conversation is not gonna go nowhere. Why? Because I will just be taking your money, highway robbery, if I say, hey, I can help you out, you know, when I know that you're not paying your bills on time. So that means we can help you, your credit score increase. And guess what happened, Kels? Your credit score dropped right back because it's a late payment. You get what I'm saying? So payment history make up 35% of your credit score. Credit card utilization make up 30% of your credit score. So if you have a $200 credit card, you don't want to use no more than $60. If you have a $500 credit card, you don't want to use no more than $150. Know what the 30% is on that credit card so you can make sure that you're using the right utilization. A lot of people, they maximize their credit card and their mindset is, well, if they gave me a $500 limit, what do you mean I can't spend the $500? Well, just to educate some people, they're not giving you the $500 limit for you to use it. They're giving it to you for emergency purposes. So if you have money, if you have debit card, use your credit card. So use your debit card. So this is how I tell people when it comes to utilizing their credit card, especially if you're somebody that's looking to build and establish credit. You want to make sure that, for example, let's say, Kels, your gas tank is $45 to fill up your tank, right? You want to make sure that you're not using the debit card or the cash. That's when you swipe the credit card, especially if you have a $200 limit. I'm just using a small limit so everybody can understand, right? Because your 30% threshold is $60. So $45 is underneath that $60, if that makes sense. So once you pay it, guess what? 5 days later, swipe the swipe the debit card because you already had the cash. Or if you have the physical cash, put it on your debit card, pay it off. And then 2 days, let the card sit for 2 days so it can report to the bureaus. That's your 7-day increment. 5 days, you pay it off, let the card breathe for 48 hours, then you can use the card again, right? So age of history make up another 15%. So far, these 3 things that I just mentioned, that's 80% of your credit score. So if you use the schooling grade platform, that's a B credit score so far, right? So what is age of history? Let's say you have a 5-year credit card and you fall on tough time, right? COVID happened, 2020 happened, right? And you start living on your credit cards. Whatever you do, find a way to at least pay the minimum off. Don't ever let that card close, because once that credit card closed, you literally just lost 60 months of credit history. So let's just say, for example, you lost those 60 months and your next highest account is a gym membership of 3 months. Now your age of history is going to not say 5 years, it's going to say 3 months. So you lost all that history. Now you don't have that borrowing power.
Yeah. Okay? Not to cut you. I had an American Express card, and I was looking at all the interest that they were charging me, and my credit score is like 750, and I was like, you know what? How much do I owe? They said $4,000 because I was buying, but I was getting rewards for like flight mileage and stuff like that.
Right.
And when I paid the $4,000 back on it, my credit score went down to 550.
And that's why I tell people, like, you want to make sure that you understand it's a relationship. Like, this is for you to build your credibility between you and the banks, right? Some people say, you ever see that individual that say, man, every time I try to get a loan, I keep getting denied and I don't know why? Yeah. I can guarantee you their credit score is somewhere in the 5s, right? Yeah. And their age of history is low. Their borrowing record is not good. So it's like they don't understand why they keep getting denied, but it's very simple. I tell them it's just like this, right? And don't shoot me. I just always use this joke. It's just like a fellas, I'm talking to y'all right now. You see a baddie on social media and you're not going to comment on her stuff because you don't want to put yourself out there. So you go in her stories and you be like, man, you hot. She ignores you. She posts something else. You're like, man, them some nice shoes. She ignores you. Then you go back in there again. Guys, I promise you, no matter what you do, she's not going to respond to you. That's the same exact thing as building your credit. Your credit is trash, so they're not going to actually communicate with you. They're going to keep on denying you. All right. So it's very important for you to understand that. Give me 1 second. I'm about to lose signal. My Bluetooth just.
Yeah, we're here talking about credit and why we should build our credit and why credit is important.
Okay. Right. You know, you can hear me, right?
Yeah, I got you.
Perfect. So that's what I always tell people. If you keep getting denied, guess what? Go ahead and make sure that you understand that you need to fix your credit. There's no other hidden secret agenda why they're not approving. They're not approving you because you're not qualified. It's just that simple. It's not rocket science. And it's not hard to build your credit, as the last 20% is very simple. It brought me back to inquiries, right? Every like 2 to 3 in a 2-year window is fine. Anything over that, you start looking desperate. So you want to make sure that on your end, you are doing the things that you need to do to be able to build up that credibility, like I said before, with the banks, so that they could go ahead and work with you. So some of the things that you can do, you could open up a secure credit card, right? Get a secure credit card, build that up for 6 months, and they're more than likely going to give you back the money that you used to invest to get that secure credit card. But now you have a full credit card. Here's what's going to happen. Your credit score just increased. All the other banks is seeing that, hey, Capital One was able to give him credit and they trust him. So guess what? If it's good enough for Capital One, it's good enough for us. You get what I'm saying? That's how you build that relationship. And the last 10%, guys, is the mixture, the types of credit. You have installment loans versus revolving loan. So what am I saying to you when it comes to the last 10%? You want to make sure that you have a combination of different credit. So installment loans are like car payments, mortgage. You know that that's set. That's not being changed. Revolving loans is like credit card. You might use $30 this month. You might use $100 next month. So that's revolving. It fluctuates. So you want to make sure that you have a perfect balance. What they always say, like a combination of different credit types to be able to build that solidified, solid ground for yourself.
Okay. All right. So if I'm gonna try to get a house, what level my credit score have to be, and if I have to get a car, what will be a good level for my credit to has to be if I come to you?
Now, just to let you know, that's actually a more direct question for somebody that deal with houses, and that's more of a direct question for somebody that deal with cars. And the reason why I said that, because each state, it varies, right? You might be in Florida where they say you could be anywhere between a 620 to a 640. Due to the pandemic that just happened, now they're telling you it's harder for the lenders to get you approved for that. So now you got to be in the 680 versus California. You could literally get away with a 620. See that? 2 different states, it's 2 different ways to get approved of that, right? And it's the same thing with a vehicle. I tell people all the time, don't get yourself in a, like, there's a lot of people that's impatient. We love the microwave success, right? Like, instead of me waiting and saying, you know what, if I wait 2 more months, I could get to that 750 like you was at, right, Kels? But right now I'm at 680. I'm gonna go get the car right now. Hey, you might get approved with a 10% interest rate, but if you just waited them 2 little months, you probably could have got anywhere between a 2 to 5% interest rate, which is a complete difference in payment.
Okay.
So in a nutshell, it's the percentages that's off. Like, use myself as an example. When I had bad credit, we had the vehicle Volkswagen Jetta, and here's the issue that we ran into real quick. We got approved for the car. The payment was okay, $330 a month. The insurance was fine. It was like $180. So in my head, mentally, see, this is what I mean by lack of knowledge, right? In my head, it sounded real good. I'm like, okay, I can make the payment. I can pay for the insurance. I'm good. But see, what I didn't know was I was actually paying 24.9% interest rate. So the car that was once $11,399, when it's said and done, the payment went up to actually $24,000. So what happened? I paid for the car twice. Lack of knowledge. But that's how they make their money. For your lack of knowledge.
All right. So tell us about how do we like, if I was gonna try to apply to work for you and do the same thing you do, what are the steps that we need to take in order for us to become like more like a boss like you?
I got you. So that's actually a great question. So let me just answer it with a one-off. No one works for me. Everybody's their own independent agent. So it's like if you say, Kels, you know what? I want to start helping people with their credit. You get mentored by somebody like me, but you're your own boss. You don't answer to me. You get to work for your own, you know what I'm saying, for yourself. And it's basically your own platform, but you're leveraging a established franchise that's already there for you, and all you're doing is just leveraging it. So for example, guys, I'm not the one that's going to write any dispute letters. I'm not the one that's going to actually draft up anything. I'm not dealing with any, legal activities. Our company already have that infrastructure in place. Does that make sense? Where I'm just basically a self-contractor, where I do the work. So let's say me and you, Kels, this example, I'm talking to you, I'm giving you information, but you reached out to me for credit repair help. I'm giving you all the information that you need, and you make the decision. I don't put people in a corner. I don't twist no hands. Hey, you want help? This is what we can do to help you, and then we can move forward. So if somebody want to move forward, that's for them to, make that decision in doing. But for anybody that ever said, hey, you know what? I want to actually get more knowledge on how the business aspect of this work while learning how to be able to get their credit fixed, I always tell them, let's jump on a Zoom because I want to show you. I'm not sure about you, Kels, but I'm a very visual learner. So I prefer to get somebody on a Zoom where they can actually see slides of how everything works from the customer side all the way to the agent side, because it's two different entities.
Okay. I have a person that asks, how do I get inquiries off my credit?
It's the same thing. So we have a process. So the reason why we're able to help people out is because we leverage what's called the FCRA. It stands for the Fair Credit Reporting Act. This is the law that was passed by Congress back in 1971. This is something that you can actually, look up on Google for yourself if you want to, and you can be able to get more in depth with that. But because of that law, it states that it doesn't matter if you have a negative items on your credit. It doesn't matter if you own the debt or not. You can go ahead and get that item disputed. So it could be student loans, it could be foreclosures, bankruptcies, tax liens, evictions, inquiries, you name it. As long as it's reporting negative on your account, we can actually dispute that on your behalf and help you to get that disputed.
Okay. So can you fix your own credit yourself? Like
Absolutely.
you could
Go
dispute
ahead.
all. Go ahead.
Absolutely. So here's where a lot of people, now this is where half your audience might be like, I'm with them, and half might be like, I'm not. But it's up to them. That's their business, right? So this is what I mean by that. It's like, Kels, you ever cut your own hair, or can you cut your own hair?
No.
Nah. What's something
Nah.
that you know you could do yourself, but you just never did it? Like something
That's
that you're gifted at, but it's like, all right, so I'm gonna use me as an example. I'm sure I could go get some clippers right now and I could run it through my head, but can we agree, Kels? It ain't gonna come out right. But I can do it myself,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
But let's just say I wanted to do a quick webinar and it's just a shave, something like I could just shave real quick and I'm good. But can we agree if I'm going to an event, I'm gonna find a professional because I want to make sure I look sharp. As men, we only got our haircut to go with. We ain't got nothing else. Like
That's
ladies,
it.
their hair, their eyes, and all that. We only got our haircut.
Yeah.
So
And the
that's what I
shirt as the first appearance.
there you go. You know what I'm saying? So I always tell people it's all about, do you want to do something on your own? That's fine. You could do it. But it's just like a vehicle. I could change something in my car. I might mess it up. But if I bring it to the professional, I know that the work is getting done. So that's the only thing I always tell people when it comes to credit, because do you know how to write letters? Do you know how to make sure that the code is embedded in the letters and all that good stuff? A lot of people, when I reach out to them on Kels, they tell me, hey man, I've been working on my own credit. And I said, that's what's up. I just got one question. Tell me you're not doing it virtually online. Because guys, basically, once you start doing Credit Karma dispute, that's called third party validated letter. So it's not coming directly from you. It's being disputed by a third party. So you literally, that statute of limitation, you waived your rights. So they could take as long as they want to get back to you. And then you're going to start saying, hey, I've been doing this on my own, but I haven't been getting any results. Yeah, because it's already deemed third party and they're not going to honor what it is that you're actually doing. So hopefully somebody could fine tune the answer that way.
Okay, so all right. let's say somebody is struggling due towards pandemic, and they've been paying just bare minimum. How do you help a person like that to monitor their expenses and credit?
Okay, so when you say they're paying the bare minimum, is it towards credit card or
Credit
just
cards,
overall bills?
credit cards, and manage like their credit
Overall
score.
bills.
Yeah.
All right,
So
so
like the credit score, you're trying to make it a little bit better than what it is, but they're
mhm.
struggling to, make ends meet, and they're basically trying to, find leverage in what they're doing.
All right, I got you. So remember how I told you that word earlier, right? Harsh reality. Let me give y'all some more harsh reality. It's nothing that you can do in between. There's no fine. It's no walking a fine line. It's you have to make sure that the bills is being paid. Because remember I told you before, right? That's 35%. So if you're paying and you're not getting the results that you're looking for, then you got to make sure that you're finding a way to supplement your income. So that's where the business aspect of what I do come in, where some people will say, you know what, for example, Kels, myself, like I told you, when I first got started, my credit was jacked up, but I also needed to make more income, right? So I didn't just see it as, oh, I need to get my credit fixed. I saw it as a way that I can help other people, but I can get paid to help other people. And then basically over these last 4 years, it's me doing a lot of self-knowledge and, just self-digging and enhancing my knowledge when it comes to credit so that I could be able to help myself. So when it comes to like, what can they do? They definitely need to be doing like either finding a way to make an extra source of income, but definitely you can't be paying anything late because once you pay that late payment, like I said, you could easily drop up to 100 points. I've seen people that deal with credit cards, and let's just say, for example, they're at 56%, right? But they pay the minimum, $25, $35 minimum, right? When their credit score come back, it's still consistently dropping. Why is that? Because they're consistently over that 30% threshold. Get what I'm saying? So the name of the game is knowing the numbers of where you need to be. Understand how the 5 factors work: payment history, credit card utilization, age of history, inquiries, and combination of credit. Once you understand that and you're disciplined, because that's what it really comes down to. If you're disciplined, you'll be able to increase your credit score. But if you're not disciplined, if you're that person that say, I'm in a 680, but I got to go get the Benz now, they're going to give you the Benz. But best believe that interest rate ain't going to be where you want to be at. Trust me.
I'm well aware of that one. Okay, so if I came to you and I was trying to be bossed up, like
Right.
like if I was trying to look a job and try to be bossed up like you, what would be the procedure I need to take to do the same thing you do?
Basically the same thing I just shared like 5 minutes ago, which is you want to see the information for yourself. I promise you, I would do you no justice of just sitting here saying, hey, this is what you need to do. Because if I tell somebody that you have to, because remember, it's a business, right? It's not a job, guys. It's a business. So you have to invest into yourself. Now, there's where we have a tour, another rippage, right? Some people will be like, I get it. It makes sense. I have to invest into myself to be able to grow. That's common sense, right, Kels? It's the
Right.
same way. How long you been doing podcasting?
About a year and a half. So,
And you had to slowly keep investing into yourself, right? Because nobody was just going to do it for you.
no, definitely
You had to
not.
get like the headphones, equipment, and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
See, a lot of people, they don't think that. They be like, well, why should I pay to start up with you guys? Or why should I pay to start up a business? And I'm like, think about what you just said. It's America, ain't nothing free. And if you're not going to invest into your business, who's going to invest into your business? You get what I'm saying? So
Right.
some people won't like they won't agree to that. They have to pay to invest. But like I said, that's where you have a rip. I always tell people it's one way with me. I like to make sure that people are seeing exactly what's going on. So it's two sides of a presentation where you can see how the services work to help our clients and how it is to actually do the business side of things in the 6 different ways that we actually get paid as agents.
So how do you get paid if uh how do you get paid doing what you do?
Okay, so you're asking me the same question in different
But
ways.
yeah,
So
because
this is
I'm not getting how do you get the job to do it whatnot. Like,
See, but so first you're using the wrong term. You keep saying job. Notice I keep saying business to you because it's not
yeah,
a job. You get what I'm saying? So I got to
so
make
it's
sure.
not a, it's not a, it's not a
It's not a
job.
job. It's a business.
It's a
You get a
business.
1099 at the end of the year. You have to file your own taxes. It's your business. It's not nobody. That's why I say you're a self-contractor. Self-contractors run their own business, and they contract for different businesses, if that makes sense, depending on what it is that they do, right? So you got to understand. So you have an umbrella. Let's say you have an AT&T store. Can we agree that there's multiple AT&T stores in different places?
Sure.
But did you know that AT&T, just not because of the brand, it's not run by the same exact person? You know that? It's
No, they're
people that
different branch
buy
managers.
So you're basically franchising. That's the term,
Right.
if that makes sense. So let's just say, for example, you become a part of my team. You're not Everton agent. You're your own agent. You're paying for your own franchise, if that makes sense. So one of the 6 ways that we get paid, every time you enroll a client, you can actually make up to $100 per enrollment. That's one of the 6 ways. So if you went out there, and there's no limitation to how much you can make. So if you went out there today and you enroll 10 clients, you can make upwards to $1,000. Get what I'm saying? There's no limitation on what you can make. So that's why I said, oh, go ahead.
So I bring in a person to enroll, and that's
as a client, correct?
As a client, right? To get a 1099. So I bring a client in to enroll. You show them the material to become its own
no
boss.
So you miss on. So you see why I keep saying you have to see it for yourself. Think about what you're doing. You're asking a question, but you're trying to visually see it by me giving an answer. I hope you understand the rift in that. It's not going to make sense to you that way. That's why I'm not sure about you, but I'm sure a lot of people that's probably on here could say the same thing. They are visual learners. Seeing it makes it way more easier. So to answer your question, because you basically put a customer into an agent. A customer is not an agent. So when you said the 1099, the 1099 is somebody that become an agent. So let's say I want to run my own business. I get a 1099. I'm an agent. When I asked you, when you said, did you mean a customer? You said yes. A client is only here to fix their credit. They're not here to make money with you. They're looking to get their credit fixed.
Yes,
so once they enroll to get their credit fixed, your job now is to activate their services so our legal attorneys could go ahead and pull up the information, get the dispute letters out to them. They can send it off to the credit bureaus. It takes the credit bureaus 30 to 45 days to get results to you, right? That's the part that you play. So that's dealing with a client. Now, if you meant to say, as far as an agent go, if I bring an agent on board, yes, I mentor them through the process. But guess what? I would never get on the phone or talk to somebody like this and say, hey guys, this is what you have to do. Because why? Seeing is believing. You have to see the information for yourself.
Okay. And how long for let's say your credit is like 455. So how long does that take for you to get your credit back on track?
I got you. So I actually answered that earlier, but I'm gonna double down on it. People start seeing results in 45 to 90 days of being on the program, but we always advise people to be on the services for worst case scenario 3 to 6 months, so you can make sure that everything get disputed and get removed. So you have people that's, say for example, we're not even going to use 455. Let's say somebody's already at a 620, but they got like 2 to 3 items. I've seen people that got their stuff removed in their first 30 days. They don't need the services no more. Their credit score skyrocket up to 70. I'm in the 700s. So guess what I'm basically saying to you? Everyone's credit profile is different. So you could be at a 455 with 10 negative items. I could be at a 455 with 1. If I get my 1 removed and you get your 10 removed, we're not going to be at the same credit score. Get what I'm saying? Everybody's credit profile is different.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. And how long you been doing this business now?
February 25th, make 4 years.
How's it going?
It's going great. It's the only thing that I do. If you, I know you was on the webinar last night, but I know that you was also driving. So, you know,
I was in and out.
Right. So, I mean, this is the only thing that I do. I was working at if you wanted me to go more in depth with that, I was working at my corporate job for over 10 years. Like I said, I was overworking on the paid. In 7 short months, I was able to once again walk away from my corporate job, and I was able to do this full time, having clocked in for somebody for the last 3 years.
So you got introduced to this through you
A
you and
great friend
Faith.
of mine. No,
You
a
have
friend of mine.
a friend of yours.
Faith got introduced through me.
Okay. So you guys have like a team of people that you guys
Yeah, absolutely.
where you guys based in Florida?
No, so my team is nationwide, just like the company is. So the headquarter is in Farmington Hills, Michigan. That's where the company is located. But remember, like I said, everybody's their own franchise. So it's like McDonald's in all the states. Get what I'm saying? So you're your own franchise. I'm my own franchise. I'm in Fort Lauderdale. Faith is in Pembroke Pines. You get what I'm saying? I got my mentors in Brickell. Everybody's their own franchise.
Who's the founder of the company?
Mr. Mike Tolov and Paramel Nayak.
That's a white guy or black guy?
One of them is Indian and one of them is Jewish.
Cool. Okay. What is one of the biggest misconception you think when it comes towards credit? Like white people say like, oh, I don't need it, or it's not relevant or so.
Yeah, back to the first conversation we had. They wasn't educated on credit. It's just like I said, I'm Jamaican. My family didn't think that we need credit cards because they don't understand the importance of credit cards. So it's lack of knowledge. If I'm not knowledgeable, I'm gonna use you for example. If I'm not knowledgeable on podcast, I could come and say anything, and you're gonna be like, "No, bro, relax, stay in your lane. This is not how we do things." You get what I'm saying? Because I could say, "Hey, you just put on the headphones and ask questions," and you might be like, "No, it's actually deeper than that." You get what I'm saying? Just an example. Much. So it's the misconception that people are not knowledgeable. They're not educated on credit. And it goes back to the original problem that I laid out when we first got live. And that's what American failed us. They don't teach this stuff in school. So you're going to keep having the generation after generation. It's your job to learn about credit and then turn around to help your kids. And we also have a YFL foundation, just not to cut you off. We have a YFL foundation that educate kids between the age of 8 to 18 on the matters of financial literacy, where we was able to give away over $650,000 to high school seniors that graduated through our program this past year.
Why do you think we're not taught to be like bosses, and we're more taught to be more workers than bosses?
I got you. So I can't answer that for cultures. Let me just answer that for myself, right? Like I said, I'm Jamaican. We come here, we have the most, like when it comes to Caribbeans, we have the most nurses in the nursing field because everybody come here, they want to be nurse, right? Everybody come here, they want to be mechanics. It's like the things that's actually taught. So it goes back to upbringing. If your ancestors didn't teach you anything about being a boss, you don't know what a boss looked like. You get what I'm saying? Right. So the biggest thing, the biggest issue for me is like if my mom tell me the typical line, right? You got to go to school, right? Get a degree, get a good job, work for 40 years of your life, and retire on what? 40% of the money you couldn't survive on in the first place. Now, here's the issue. You have a Walmart by you?
They went out of business.
Oh, where you at?
Yeah. The last one we had was in White Plains.
Now, I got you. So let me ask you a question, right? When you used to go to Walmart, did you see like old people at the very front checking like the receipts and stuff, making sure that everything is good?
Yeah.
You want to know why they came back to work? Because that pension that they retired on wasn't enough.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why that's the reason why I tell people it's your job to turn around and teach your generation to become bosses.
A lot of them actually eat cat food. To be honest with you.
I didn't mean to laugh.
No, I'm serious. A lot of them eat cat food because the same thing that you said, they come back and they have to come back and come work again because of the numbers didn't pan out and times have changed, things have increased.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? And you even see that with when Trump was in office, and then Biden comes in, everything went up $1. You know what I'm saying?
Gas
So
last year used to be like $2.40 something. Now it's almost $4.
right, because times have changed. That's why I say a lot of those old folks, they're eating like cat food, or they have to come back to work, or they probably
Right.
got to bring in some family members to help them out with the
The bills
bills
and
and
stuff like
shit
that.
like
Yep.
that. But our parents, they basically taught us just to be workers. They
Yeah,
never they
absolutely.
never taught us how to be bosses in our own right. We're kings and queens, Aboriginal people, and they never taught us anything. They never taught us to have our own business. They just say, go to work, go to school, and it stops right there.
Right. And
And
one thing I can add to that, like it's a great saying, man. I think it flies over a lot of people's head. You're either going to go out there and build your own dreams and your legacy, or somebody's going to turn around and hire you
yeah, to
to
create their
build.
own dream, right?
You get what I'm saying?
A
And
fact.
why isn't like statements like that so big? Why isn't it like looked at? Like a lot of people, they're just so comfortable being comfortable, and that's the real issue. Anything that challenges you and go against what you're used to in your comfort zone, you don't want to do it.
Not only comfortable, the new people, or you call them millennials, they're dependent, and they make things so easy now that you just become more dependent, more than like trying to create. Like we don't create no more. We like, oh, we'll wait for it to come out so we could use it. You know,
Right.
a while back we used to have a lot of creators, inventors, people that make things. Now we just dependent.
Right. And another issue with that, and I actually blame both sides, right? The millennials, you have a lot of I want to say 6 and 7 figure earners now literally using the internet. So they're building the right way. They understand, they adapt with the time. The issue with older people, they are stuck in their ways. They don't like anything, like I said, if it challenges you, they don't really like to say, you know what, let me learn to master this. You get what I'm saying? It's just like Bitcoin. Like a decade ago, a lot of people had Bitcoin when it first came out, but guess what? A lot of people sold it. It didn't make sense. I don't want to do this. But then just 2 years ago, when it skyrocketed, guess what? A lot of people was like, damn, I wish I kept my hand, or I'm glad I bought some. You're either going
Right.
to be on one side or the other. I'm glad I bought some, or damn, I didn't see it getting this far. And let's talk about Uber and Lyft. It's the same way. You get what I'm
Yeah,
saying? A lot of
they're
people had
big.
shares in that. You know what I mean? What about Apple? So it's just like how you say about all the great inventions. Somebody looked at it and say, I'm in. And just like how that person said, I'm in, somebody else looked at it and said, nah, this ain't for me. That's really what the issue with society is. You know what I'm saying? People
Gotcha.
don't have a long-term vision to get to where they actually want to get to. It's like if I want to be a YouTuber, I don't want to do the work. So whoever my favorite content creator is, let's just say, for example, they got 2.5 million. I'm judging how I'm supposed to grow because I see that he got 2.5 million or she got 2.5 million. But I'm not saying, well, Everton, you know what? They used to do this on their cell phone. They used to do this with the wired AirPods, the old school.
Yeah.
Them things retired now. They used to
Yeah.
do it with those. But see, we see them now at where they're at, and I say that same exact thing for businesses. I don't care what business it is. People see you. They don't know the story. They just see the glory. So they don't see what you had to go through, what you had to endure to get to where you're at. They
Right.
just see the final chapters, and they're like, if he could do it, I could do it too. You're right.
Right.
But are you willing to go through what he had to go through?
Yeah. You know, my thing with our people is, to be honest with you, like white people look at it for the long haul. Like they see something and they just come drop a bag and they say, you know what? You don't know what you got, but I'm gonna
Let's
take
not
it,
even get me
and
started.
I'm gonna make it transcend, and I'm gonna put my
Right.
kids into this right here so they could live off of it.
All right.
Well, I don't have credit right now
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not trying to purchase anything here
Right.
because the high interest rate and everything. And then after that American Express car incident, whatever card incident, I was just like, yo, I'll I'll just wait, because I went to go buy a car and they didn't approve me. And I was like, all right, no problem. They said the only way we'll approve you, we need to see your banking statements. And then I showed them my whatchamacallit, my banking statement. But then when I showed them my banking statement, they came out with a high ass fucking interest rate, yo.
Right.
Like, that shit was high. And I was like, Jesus Christ. I wish I had credit.
But hold on. I'm glad you said it, because I had to stop you as soon as you said it. That's the issue. You see how you said I don't have credit because I don't want credit right now? I'm not looking to buy nothing. Here's the issue that a lot of people fall victim of. They think the same exact way. They like, man, forget this. I can use cash. Everything that I need right now, it deals with cash. But nobody ever say, you remember that long-term vision you just said about our Caucasian brothers and sisters? Yeah. Here is what our people don't do. They don't say, man, 2 years from now, what if I fall into a situation where I need a loan? 6 months from now, what if I have to take out another vehicle, but I don't have the liquid cash? See, they don't think long term.
Yeah,
they don't think, you know what? Let me build up my credit, so in case of any emergency, I could use OPM, other people's money. That's how the rich get richer. So it's a lot of people that say they're lucky. I don't trash that word, man, because a lot of people look at me and call me lucky, but nobody don't see the times I go to my bed at 3-4 o'clock in the morning. And people will be like, wait, why you go to bed 3-4 o'clock in the morning? Do you know that there's a thing called time zones? It's people on the West Coast at 3 a.m. and that's midnight for them. Right. So I'm still in DMs talking to people, and I'm gonna give you a fun fact. I actually have a young lady on my team. Her name is Tammy Miller. She work as, she's the IT representative for the government, but she's stationed in Iraq, right? She's 8 hours ahead of me. So right now, currently, it's 5:52 a.m. for Tammy. In an hour, Tammy's gonna hit me up. It's like clockwork. She's gonna hit me up and she's gonna talk about what are some of the things that she can do for that day. While I'm sleeping, guess what Tammy's doing? Connecting and talking to other people.
Putting in work.
You get what I'm saying? So when people sit there and tell me, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, they're actually right. See, mindset is everything. And if you already defeat yourself before you even got started with doing anything, you're absolutely right. And I'm not the person, and I don't think no one should. It's like, if you have a certain situation, bro, let's say your upbringing wasn't the best, right? Shouldn't that be enough motivation for you to say, I don't want my family or my legacy to be remembered like this? Somebody got to chop the generation
curse.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of people want generational wealth, but they don't understand that sometimes you're the block that you gotta set a new wave that this family go. Like, I don't have any millionaires and I don't have any successful people in my family. And this past weekend in Dallas, we was recognized as the first 6-figure earner. And well, I'm a 6-figure earner documented in my business, but I look at it for the long game. I'm like,
congratulations, man.
I'm a millionaire in my family.
Congratulations. You're about to break that curse.
Absolutely. Have to. But it's also an attitude and a mindset, right? You have to have that posture. You have to have that attitude. Like, I don't care what nobody else think of me. I know what I think of me. And I think a lot of people, they value the opinions of others too much.
Yeah,
and
well,
my mentor always tell me
that's the millennial way of thinking.
Yeah, this is what my mentor always said to me, bro. He said, if you're willing to take advice from someone that's not in a position that you want to be in, just know that means that you're willing to trade places with them. So that uncle that's always on the couch, that ain't got nothing going on but has all the best advice, just be willing to trade places on that couch with that uncle. See, when I'm around, for example, I'm around 6- and 7-figure earners, and they're teaching me the rope. So do you think, Kels, that I'm going to listen to someone that's like not even chasing their own goals to listen to their opinions on something? No, right. Because I already have the individual that's like-minded like myself, and that's way ahead of me in where I aspire to be. You know what I mean?
Right. You see, the thing with that is this, right? I always tell people, you are what you eat. If you're around bums, you're gonna think like
Become
bums.
a bum.
If
Yep.
you're around hoes, you're gonna think like the hoes.
Call it
If
what
you're
it is.
around, you're never gonna see a rich person hanging out with a broke person. Rich
Come
people
on,
hang out
man.
with rich people. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So if you're in that kind of what you call it, that's the kind of people that you're gonna attract around you.
Right.
And that's the only way for you to transcend. You're never gonna see a rich man taking advice from a poor man. He probably take his idea and make it
Right.
his own,
Absolutely.
or patent it, but he's not gonna be hanging around with somebody that can help him to get to the next level or so. Because a friend of mine said, for every million you get is a different feeling. For
Mm.
every $1,000 you get is a different feeling you get.
You saying it.
And it's true.
You saying it. And let me elaborate on that a little bit too. When we got the recognition, it was one of those where it's long overdue, if that makes sense, right?
Right.
So the focus wasn't even on, oh man, I'm a documented six figure. Right? No, it was more so like, yo, I can help my team to experience the same exact feeling. Like the focus, like once my name was called, I walked the stage. By the time I got up there, it's now who else on my team is hungry enough to break that curse in their family. That's where the focus shifted. So you just said it. It's not, it's like the money is cool, but who can I help to change their situation? Who can I help to pay that bill that's been hanging over their head for the longest? Who can I help to make an extra $500? Who can I help to make an extra $3,000 in a month? You get what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's not about, oh yeah, okay, cool, everything, you make a lot of money. No, it's the focus shifts. It's about your team and the people that you're working with. And that's why I always tell people, like, when people tell me that money isn't everything, I completely agree with that. But here's the issue. Money ranks up there with oxygen. Can we agree? Like when people sit there and tell me, "Oh, I don't want to join the team because money is everything." I tell them, I say, "All right, that's cool, that's fine, that's not a problem." But let me ask you a question: do you have a job? They'll boldly put their chest out and say, "Yeah, I got a job." I said, "So if money isn't everything, why are you at work? Got to pay the bills, right?" So a lot of people, like I said, they don't like change, they don't like challenges. So it's easy to say, you know what, man, I'm gonna keep taking my lumps over here where I understand the sequence. I've been taking these lumps for 21 straight years. So I know the pattern. I'm gonna complain about my life. I'm gonna feel like I'm up on life. And guess what? I'm gonna go right back to doing complaining about life again. But they
Right.
don't want to go through that challenge to grow. Because anything you go through, bro, you should be able to grow through. You know what I'm saying? And that's what helped you to get to the top.
Got you. I have another question for you. What's one question that I didn't ask that I should have asked?
That's a good one. So the one thing that I would definitely say, like one question that you didn't ask that you probably should have asked is along the lines of like, is buying the home or the car or starting up that business going to make that change in your life? And what I mean by that is because we're going to tie it back into credit, right?
Right.
So a lot of people, they're so busy trying to chase the house, the car, or start up that business, but they don't have everything else in a row. So what I mentioned just now is they didn't learn the tools of how to be able to establish that high-end credit so that they could always leverage it in the back end. Because here's the issue. Like, let's just say, for example, I get my credit so high to where, like a friend of mine, her name is Margaret Rodriguez. She was actually able to get a zero down on a house, $393,000 house, right? And here's the difference, though. Her house was building equity while the land was just still there. So now, because of her good credit, her approval, the property, the land that she had started making money for her. Does that make sense? So before the house was even built, it was already bringing back profits into her pockets.
Right.
That deal with her high credit, right? And where she got to prove that. So I always tell people before you chase the material things, because is that house going to be an asset for you or a liability? Get what I'm saying? And we already know assets and liabilities, right? Assets is if it could bring back money for you. Liabilities is if, yeah, they built the house, but now I got to go pay that $393,000. You get what I'm saying? Now I got to pay this. That's liability. But if I could build up that equity, like a good friend of mine, his name is Terrell Joseph. He's actually got $60,000 on the land that's not fully built up yet. So he can actually sell this back, pull out the 60,000 and flip it into something else, into a more like urban area, get the and do buy and flip. Right. So because he started what he had to do, but understood the value of credit, he was able to utilize that credit, OPM, right, to bring him a lot more money.
So if I fix my credit per se, right, what would be a good thing to purchase as a black man being in America?
So that always fall back to the person. So first thing I would say is do some investment. Do some investing into stocks. Not sure if you're into stocks, but do some investing into stocks, because stock is a long-term game, right? You're not going to buy stocks today and expect by next month. I'm going to take that back because I know some black people, how they are, right? But you're not going to buy stocks today and expect that next month I'm supposed to double up on that, right? You already understand that if I buy the stocks today, I'm looking at it like probably 2-3 years down the line, because the number is just going to surplus so much. So I tell people, don't get caught up into the savings account, but get caught up into the dropping the stocks into, your money into the stocks.
Right. But it depends on how much stocks you buy. If you buy 5, you're not going to see anything. Only if you buy the stock when it's like penny stock. Yeah. Right. Also, putting your money in the bank is a waste of time. It's just like a placeholder. The money that you could generate from a stock, you will always get more, because if you have 10,000 in the bank, they're probably going to give you maybe $1.50, maybe $3 or so,
something like that.
That's not even enough for them to.
It ain't doing nothing.
Tax you on. You know what I'm saying? While they're lending your money,
got there to tax you, right?
Right. While they're lending your money to Tom, Dick, Harry, Larry,
there you go.
Jones, Mary.
And fun fact, if that bank closed, they going with your money.
But isn't that your money protected by the government? Not no more.
That's the scary part of the bank. It's like our way or the highway. We're quick to do the overdraft fee, $35, right? We're quick to do everything, but when it comes to your money, you got to go through a whole line, a whole arm and a leg in a wrestling match just to get your money. So as the question asks, I would definitely put my money in stocks, but find something that you're passionate about. And this is just the individual man and the individual woman. Find something that you're passionate about, that you know wholeheartedly you will run behind. So if you're a designer and you have the mind for it, invest more into knowledge, get better at it, and then invest into the materials that you got to go and, do your thing. If you're a music engineer, invest into your boards, your equipment, and just go full circle, like to go full out. That's the thing. A lot of people like to play safe. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm gonna put my toe out there, and if the water is cold, I'm gonna put my toe back. Nah, man, you gotta. This is something I'm passionate about, and I'm gonna fail. It's like they say the warrior, right? I'm gonna die on my shield. You gotta die on your shield. You gotta make sure that if this is something that you're passionate about, you can't go with the mindset saying what if, because it's already a wrap. If you already say what if, like I don't make it, bro, you're not gonna make it.
A fact.
You gotta understand that. Look, I gotta go all in. I gotta make this happen.
So, would you say credit is more of a? Is it important or a priority, or is just something to do?
Nah, man. They say cash is king, bro, but credit is power. Without no power, there's no king. Get what I'm saying? So you can have your cash all you want, but you still need power to make anything happen. It's just like there's so much people that's filthy rich, right? But they can't go. You could go into the mom and pop store and you could go buy you a nice Benz, but you can't go to the Benz dealership and say, hey, I'm gonna give you this $30,000. I know this car is $29,000. You want to know why? Because they understand the value of what they have. They understand that the long game is, if I sell you this vehicle, I could make a lot more money on what? Interest over the
Yeah,
years.
but
You know what I'm saying?
even if you drop the bag there, the IRS will be definitely pulling up and
Oh yeah, right there.
yeah.
Right there.
How did you get this $30,000?
Right there.
This is something we
Absolutely.
need to look into. Well, I think um I would love for all black people to get their credit fixed. I would like all black people to have invest in stock. I would love for them to push financial literacy like how they push religion. And I would definitely like them to learn how to play instrument, definitely learn how to do self-defense, and definitely learn how to swim. And I would definitely like to see a lot more bosses in our community. More, I like to see more ownership, more
Right.
people becoming more bosses. So
Absolutely.
if we're trying to locate you and trying to get inquiries about uh, fixing my credit or becoming a boss or a partner to work with you, how do we go
Right.
by doing that?
Well, guys, I made sure. See, branding is everything, right? It's a lot of people that they have different social media platform, but it's like all types of different names. So I make it as easy as possible. It's exactly what you see on the screen, Everton Bryan. You search Everton Bryan on Facebook, you're gonna see a gentleman looking like a highlighter in a suit. That's me, right? Same thing as Instagram. Instagram didn't want me to do this Everton Bryan, so they put an underscore underneath it, so it's Everton Bryan underscore. Twitter is the same way, Everton Bryan. So everything is literally Everton Bryan. Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
So your staff is pretty much growing up. How many members you have so far?
On my team, I have 450 agents.
Oh, yeah, do your thing, man. Yeah, do
You
your
gotta be
thing.
working, man. You gotta be working.
So where you see yourself 5 years from now with credit? Do you
Five
plan
years
on
from
trend?
now, oh man. The You said what, full time?
You gonna transcend into something else?
No, absolutely. I mean, we're slowly doing that right now. I learned from my mom, don't put too much of your plans out there, so I won't. But just know that we have things in the background that's actually brewing and cooking right now as we speak. That's because of credit is actually helping me to go into those different aspects and avenues. So I'm gonna give you a good example. Like I can go into real estate. I'm gonna give you a better example. I could go into real estate right now, right? And I could outsell someone that's been in real estate for a while. Why? Now, this is not me just being cocky or anything like that. But remember, I have something that they need. I have
Credit.
an active client. I know I have an active clientele base
Yeah,
where I can
but
literally
but
take.
you have credit too, and you need credit to be
Yeah, no, that's what I'm trying to say to you. Like my clients that's got their credit fixed, they can,
right
they're gonna feel more comfortable with me because who helped them?
to
Everton.
get there. Right.
Versus a complete stranger. I could put you in this nice house, this, that, and the third. We could do this. They're more inclined to listen to me. So I work with a lot of car salesmen, tax repairs, real estate agents outside of this. Why? Because it's a perfect marriage of what we actually do. So it's just like if somebody said that they want to buy a house, I could refer them to 5 realtors I know off the top of my head in Florida that I trust. You get what I'm saying?
They
So I
are.
took care of the client and I sent them over immediately.
Who are
So
these
that's what I
people?
mean by if I get into that space, I could outproduce a lot of people because I'm already walking with literally like a suitcase of clients.
Right. Who are these real estate trustees you have? Would
Say
you
it,
like
say
to
it again.
would you like to share their names?
Oh, I could do two because the
Okay.
others they like to stay low key with their
Okay.
stuff, and unless they're the one, I don't speak for them, is what I'm basically saying. But two of them I could definitely tell you is April Cooks and Miss Gannett. What's her name? Duhaney,
Based in Florida?
Florida. Yeah.
Okay. One more question before you go.
Okay.
Would you recommend buying land or property?
Now,
If
what's the talk to me?
which
What's the
which
difference?
which one would you which one be better to buy? A house or land?
So that's what I was saying before. I like the land because everybody that I've seen get the land because of the credit, it builds up the equity faster. If I buy a house that's already made, I'm not really making anything off the top of it that quick. But that land, that lot, I should say, might end up being in 3 months, might end up working X amount of money versus the house that's already built. Remember, it's already set up, it's already built, established, and all that good stuff. So sometimes it don't bring back the same value as the land that's already bought, because you can always flip that land and sell it back. Because if it get hot, guess what? Oh, we really want this. You might have a billionaire, mogul come in and say, hey, I'll give you $5 million for this lot, but we need it to expand what it is that we're looking to expand.
Yeah, I'm looking into doing that. Definitely.
That's what I'm
Okay.
talking about.
So land over a house.
No, absolutely. Because you currently live somewhere right now, right?
Which one? Yeah, apartment.
No, I'm just giving you that example. You currently live somewhere right now.
If someone was supposed to pay you, would you prefer equity or cash?
Me?
Yeah.
Equity all day. Equity. Long game, baby. That's my mindset. Long game.
Gotcha.
Like, you give me cash, you just bought my soul. Nah, give me the equity. It could material. I take that gamble all day.
When Beyonce said that, pay me in equity, that blew over a lot of people. They're just looking at.
We ain't gonna talk about it though.
Okay, got you. Any words? Last words you want to leave us with?
Absolutely, man. Guys, look, it's 2022. Don't live in 2022 the way you lived in 2021, the way you lived in 2020. And what am I basically saying? Don't be that person that came into this year with a New Year's resolution, because I'm the first person to tell people I don't want to hear nothing about no New Year's resolution, because you're gonna be as good as you are until probably middle of January, and then by February you right back to the whole old habits and doing the same old thing. So me and my team, we do this thing where, like, I do this personally for myself. My New Year start after my birthday, September 24th. And the reason being is because I want to plan ahead. If you notice, everything I'm saying is long term, right?
Yes.
So I have vision for where I see myself. So I'm not the person that's going to be like, oh yeah, man, 2021 was bad, and December 31st, I'm like, all right, we got a new game plan. Nah, that game plan has already been rolled out since September 24th, and we're just plowing away at it, plowing away. So don't be that individual, man. Like, sit here and say, hey, I really want to win in 2022. The strongest word I could tell y'all: stop quitting, stop giving up. A lot of you guys, y'all tell yourself y'all want better, but then soon as adversity hits, soon as obstacles come up, you're like, well, maybe it wasn't meant to be. No, it's not that it wasn't meant to be. You just quit too damn much. Stop quitting. Fight for the things that you actually want, and you could thank yourself, right? On Sunday, we're going on what's called a 90-day run with me and my team, right? And a few of my business partners. And basically what that 90-day run is, it's full out commitment. We're locked in, no outside noise. But I'm gonna let you know something that's powerful about what I just said. As soon as you put it in the atmosphere, the universe has a way to test you. As soon as you commit. So what I'm saying to you guys that I said, don't quit. As soon as you commit to what it is that you said that you're going to do, the death is going to happen. If you're in a relationship, he or she might start acting up, and you're like, what the hell going on? The devil know that he can't get a hold of you, so he's going to use everything else that's around you to get a hold of you. So that's where mindset comes in. You got to have bulletproof mindset. If you're not doing personal growth in 2022, and I'm not sitting here throwing biblical thing out here, Kels. I'm just telling people at the end of the day, it has nothing to do with biblical. It could literally be, I listen to like entrepreneur, what you call it, because I think that all of this stuff is the same thing. It's just in a different realm and whatever it is you believe. Because if I grew up in the church when I was a little boy, and me being around business and mindsets and all that stuff, it's the same thing. You get what I'm saying? It's like you said, birds of a feather flock together. If I'm around 5 broke people, I'm eventually going to be the 6th. But if I'm around 5 rich people, I'm eventually going to be the 6th. It's what you manifest. Is what you take in, is what you put out. So guys, just stop quitting, man, and believe in yourself and elevate. Keep elevating no matter what you do. 2022 should be the year of abundance, should be a fruitful year for you, and a year of blessings. And that's my words for y'all.
You're going to be holding another webinar anytime soon?
Absolutely. I'm actually doing a Zoom tomorrow. You could text Faith. She'll definitely be able to give you the link, because I don't know if you're gonna be able to write it down right now. But it's Everton Brian Live, so my first and last name live.com, and I'm aiming for 4 p.m. But I have to confirm with Faith because it's going to be her Zoom.
Okay. So if outsiders want to join, how do they join in?
They jump on evertonbrianlive.com. They bring them straight into the Zoom room. So if you have Zoom, or if you don't have Zoom per se, download Zoom. It's an app, it's free. You'll be able to log in and you'll be able to see exactly how our services work,
Right.
and how you can actually be an agent and come on board to make money with our program.
Okay. And if you missed that, are there other avenues we could get you at?
Yeah, I have a recorded webinar that explained the same exact thing that I just basically said to you, but it's just recorded.
Where at?
It's on my YouTube channel, so I can send that link out.
What's the name of your YouTube channel?
Everton Brian.
Okay. Just
I got you. I'm just telling you.
trying to. Okay. Everton Brian.
Mhm.
All right. Nice chatting with you. Appreciate
Absolutely,
it.
man.
Hopefully everybody learned something from this. If I missed anything, you guys leave it in the comment section. Thank you again for joining.
Absolutely.
Again, Everton Brian. Peace and love, everybody. Make
All right,
sure
King.
get your credit up.
Facts.